Hey everyone, welcome back to Colourful Indian. I'm really excited to see you here today because we're going into Adept Samarian Sunset palette, and for me this is the very first Adept Cosmetics palette that I've ever tried. I'm just really excited about this. Just looking at the eyeshadows in the palette itself, I knew that these were going to be very creamy and very smooth. They just look like that, so I can't wait to actually try them and see how these are going to work on my skin. So before we begin, my name is Ranita. I like to do makeup tutorials, reviews, shopping hauls, and all that kind of stuff. I also go into mental health sometimes, so if all of those things are something that you enjoy, then subscribe. I'd love to see more of you. In this video you're going to get swatches, and we're going to do 4 tutorials and really try and test out every single one of those shades. So let's begin. I'm gonna be honest, because these shades are so shifty and it's so obvious, I'm actually finding it really hard to decide what colors to go in with. But I know for the mattes I'm gonna start with Delta Quadrant, so that is a very bright orange, and I'm going to start with that one. So we're just gonna tap some of that onto my lid. And bear in mind, again, this is my first time using Adept Cosmetics, so yeah, I'm very interested to see how this formula is. I've heard mixed reviews about Adept, and I know that some people feel that it's a bit overpriced and everything, but honestly, I think that the fact that you're getting shifts like this, like, I mean, I don't want to comment until we finish the 4 looks, but if they really work the way that I'm seeing them in the pan, I'm going to say that it's worth it. Because multi-chromes like this, you will have to pay a lot more from other brands to get 10 different shades. So, okay, I really do like the way that this is working. It's easy to put on my lid, very pigmented, so I definitely like that. I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. And as usual, I've gone in with my P. Louise base, so I just prefer using a white base because I feel like the color payoff is so much better. Okay, so I'm going to go in with another matte shade, which is Darmok, which is this over here. I just want to deepen this. It's kind of like a green. I think that this kind of looks more or less equal. I'm trying to get those shapes to kind of just be of equal height. Going in with Postrionic Netna, which is a kind of light pink shade, and I'm just going to tap it right here all over the remaining spaces that I have left. I'm using a floofy brush to kind of get that to disperse evenly. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now the most exciting part, the shimmers. I can't wait to try these. Okay, I'm going to grab my NYX mixing medium. So that's this thing over here, and we're going to apply it to my lids, and then we're going to put on, I guess, 2 shades. Let's see how this goes. Because as you can probably see, these are very easy looks. You know, you can do these in about 15 minutes. And go out. Okay, I'm gonna go in with Mog, M-O-G-H. Some of that on my brush. It's kind of like a white shimmer, but it also looks pink. So I'm gonna add a little bit of that here. Let's take the next one. I'm gonna just tap this into my inner corner because I don't want to go too much into the center. Okay, so let's go in with the next one. I think I'm gonna go in with Obsidian. It's so hard, like I said, to actually choose like what shades to go in with because the colors change so much. I'm going to, okay, you know what, I'll do Praxis. I'm going to do Praxis first, and then after Praxis, I'm going to go in with Obsidian Order. This is Praxis. Oh my gosh. I can see the shift happening like on my eye, and I got so excited. That looks gorgeous. So it's a multi-chrome formula, but it's a bit like, it's a bit drier, I think, and some other formulas that I have tried. I want to take Obsidian Order next because that one has just been calling to me and it looks incredible. So I'm putting some of that right here. right at the end of my eyes. I'm just gonna take a matte shade and just kind of go and reinforce the colors over here just to get back that shape, and then blend out a bit of that multichrome as well. Wow, okay, so these shifts are really, really strong. I actually think that for the following looks that we do, I'm only going to be using a maximum of 2 shades. That's 2 shimmer shades per look, because I really want to feature the beauty of these multichromes. I feel like you can see the shifts, but because there's now 3 on my eyes, it's going to be a little hard for me to capture the shift in that white one over there. So I think, yeah, we're just going to take it very slow. Hey everyone, this is the finished look. I basically used a lot of Yensa products for this particular look. I went in with a primer first, then I went in with my foundation, then I also used a tiny bit of concealer underneath my eyes, and I went in with the lip oil to actually kind of just hydrate my mouth. This is really, really nice, but then I wanted some color to the look because I felt like, you know, this is so brown and it's such a neutral, pretty look, and I really felt like a brown lipstick would complement very well. So I went in with the shade Nude. This is by Colored Rain Cosmetics. It's a nice color. You can probably see from here that these are really stunning shades, okay? Like they really, really are. They have shifts. Oh my goodness, just look at that shift. It's absolutely magical. Like the greens, the golds that you can see. Oh my goodness. I am really, really happy with the way that this looks. Even just looking at this as a normal look, okay, which would just be like pink, red, orange. Those are kind of like the shades that I was, you know, looking at in the pan when I got them. Obviously, when you shift them around, though, you see very, very strong shifts. But oh my goodness, when I saw the shifts, I was really, really impressed. So I think that this looks amazing. The only thing that I had to do was go and touch up my eyes, because over here I noticed that a little bit of it was melting. So that would be the shade Mauve. However, I think that it could be the base didn't go high enough. Like this is just something that happens with me if I don't use a base that kind of dries up the shimmer shade, or if I don't use like a glitter base, my shimmers do melt off. So that's just a me thing. It happens with every single brand, so I'm not gonna like penalize this palette for that. But I'm really, really impressed. I love the mattes. You can see what they look like. This is stunning. Gorgeous. I'm so happy that I got this palette and that this was the first palette that I got. I'm actually keen to actually get the inspired palette as well now, because I saw that they're bringing it back and it is a limited edition, but I'm really excited and really pumped to get into the next few looks. We get 10 shades in here. I mean, we haven't even tried all the shades yet, but I'm so excited because I know that they're going to be amazing. Okay, so I'll see you in the second look. Hey, welcome to the second tutorial. I'm going in with the shades Darmok and Jalad. So that's these two over here, 1 and 2. And I think I may go in with that one as well. Let's see how this goes, because I want to get a kind of green look now, and I'm going to try and see how to achieve that. So I'm going to take Darmok. That's the deepest shade, well, the deepest green shade. It's kind of like an army green. And I'm just applying some of that onto my Pilouise base, which I've already put onto my eyes, as you can see. I'm using a floofy brush for this. There's only 5 mattes in this palette, so you will see repetition of the shades, but I can try and make them look different for each look, which is exactly what I'm planning to do. I'm going in with Jalad now, which is a lighter green, and I'm going to put that right here. So that's kind of going to be like the inner corner shade. You can see how pigmented that was. It got onto my eye very easily, which is a really good thing. You know what? I'm going to grab a little bit of Tanagra, which is a really pretty green shade, and I'm going to put that right here. I think just kind of trying to change. I think I may take that up a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to start going in with the shimmers. I think that I may actually just use my fingers for this. I'm going to use a different base. I'm going to go in with the NYX Glitter Glue for this one. So normally I go in with the mixing medium. I just want to see how they perform on either base. So I'm taking that, I'm just going to grab a little bit on my finger. I'm going to put that right here. And I think I'll do one eye at a time, just to make sure that the bases don't dry up or anything like that, you know? So these looks, like I said, very, very simple looks. You should be able to finish these in like 15 minutes if you're not doing a video. Like you just grab it and slap it on your eye. Okay, so for the shades over here, I think that I'm gonna go in with Risa, which is green. I'm very tempted to go back in for Praxis, which is over here. So it looks pink on the camera to you, but when I'm looking at it, it looks like a gorgeous green. So I have, I think I'll go in first with, you know what, I'm gonna do Risa, and I think I will go in with L-A-L, Lal, how do you pronounce that? I don't know, but I'm gonna go in for those two. I would love to use the shades. Oh, so this is like a pink and green. That's so pretty. Okay, let's see how that goes. Oh my goodness, I wasn't expecting this at all. It looks pink on my eye. Like seriously, I was not expecting that. Now I'm going in again with Risa, which is a incredible shade, honestly. I don't think I've ever used a shade like this before. It seems like this has a green, orange, and pink shift, and it's like it seems to be a topper for me, like more than anything. But I want to do 2 shades for this look. I'm not going to do 3 because I feel like it doesn't feature the shades that well. So let's just go in with L-A-L. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, again, was not expecting this shade to look like that. Wow. Oh my goodness. It's just so fascinating, like the way every look turns out, because I genuinely have no idea what to expect. Because they really have strong shifts, so they look one way and then you apply them and they look another way, you know? But this is a really gorgeous orange. Hello, so this is what my face is looking like at the moment. I went in again with all Yensa products, and then for the eyeliner I used a Maven Beauty liner in the shade Hub. It's a very, very pretty metallic green, as you can probably see from here. We're not done though. I need to do my lashes, and I'm adding a few gemstones over here from Temu. So I'm pretty excited about that because these are the exact same shade as well that I'm kind of going for with this look. You can probably see pinks, greens, oranges, and these rhinestones that I'm using have similar shades on them. So I'm going to just go in and add, I think, a couple. Hey everyone, this is the finished second look. So I did decide to go and have some fun and, you know, just go all out with this. Wasn't expecting the colors that I have on my eyes to actually show up, but they are absolutely beautiful. So the way I see this is it looks like a sunset, you know, kind of like those gorgeous pastel clouds that you see when the sun is out and it's just setting for the evening. And, you know, I kind of got that vibe from this particular look. I went in and I added a lot of liner and graphic eyeliner, which is, you know, stuff that I haven't really done in a really long time, mostly because I just wanted to have some fun with this. So I'm very, very excited by the way these eyeshadows are performing. So I went in with Risa, right? Oh, sorry, this is Risa. Yeah, Risa here. And I went in with Lal, and then I was very, very tempted to add another shade of pink. So I went under there with Praxis, which is that one right over here. It's a very, very lovely, vibrant pink. Felt that it would go perfectly though with the look, and I really, really liked the overall way that it has turned out. If I just bring you in a bit closer, you can see the pastel look, and if I bring this here, you should be able to see a shift happening, you know, just as even if I just move this, you should be able to see some shifts happening. The shifts are so freaking obvious, you know, and it works so well because the formula is so slick. So it's like you just pick it up with your finger and you just go and it just goes there and stays there. I did have to touch this up one a little bit more, especially in the inner corners, but since touching it up, it's just kind of stayed there, and that was about 30 minutes ago, so I feel like right now it looks absolutely fine. Makeup details, again, went in with all the same Yensa products that I used prior in the first look, and I also went in with 2 products from my mouth, so that would be Kebi from Juvia's Place, and then I used Juicy Cherry by Lime Crime in this color right over here. I didn't want to draw too much attention to my mouth simply because I feel like the eyes are pastel, so I don't want this to be the main focus. I want the eyes to be the focus. So I think that I'm actually really happy with this look too. I think it's beautiful, and I'm really starting to get a feel of what this palette is like. So let's get into the third look. Hey everyone, welcome to the third tutorial. I'm going to be going in with a black base for this. I just kind of want to see how that would work for some of the shimmers. Okay, so the base is on my eyes. I'm going to be going for a very orangey kind of look. I really want to achieve that with this. So I'm probably going to be going in with shades like Parklet over here and USS Defined over there. I just think that they look really, really gorgeous. They've got some very beautiful orange tones happening, and if I just touch them very lightly with both my fingers, this is essentially what they look like. So you can see that they've got beautiful orange shades. So I'm going in with Delta Quadrant, which is this orange, burnt orange, and I'm just gonna start by tapping that onto my base. So because I have a black base, obviously the color is going to look very different from the other looks that we did. So this itself shows you how bases will influence the way that your makeup's gonna look. Now I'm going in with Postrionic Net. I'm just gonna take a little and just tap that in the inner corners, but I don't expect it to kind of stay throughout the look, because the main feature of these are obviously going to be the Multichrome. So you can see how that looks. It has kind of like a grayish pink finish with the black base on. So I'm going in with Parklet first. Now this is a very yellow kind of orange from one angle, and I think that if I feel like USS Defined is not deep enough, then I will go in with Obsidian Order right in the, you know, outer corners of my eye. So let's just try this first. I've already applied my NYX mixing medium. Oh my gosh, that shade, the shade is stunning. Oh my goodness, it's like this it's like an orange, yellow orange going into like a really beautiful pink, almost yellow orange moving into a red orange, I would say. It's stunning. I love this shade. I'm obsessed with this shade. The joy that one shade can bring. Okay, seriously, I'm so impressed with this shade. I'm just gonna go and add a bit more in that corner. I'm in love with this shade. I hope that that's been established. I can't believe it looks that beautiful. That is so vibrant, and that is exactly what, like, that's the wow factor, you know, that I was kind of hoping to get. So yes, love that shade. Okay, I'm gonna add the same base here. Oh my goodness, how did they even make this shade? It's just, it's so gorgeous. I really am so impressed by this. Oh my goodness. So this shade is probably my favorite so far in the palette. Okay, let's go in for USS Defiant, also a really pretty orange shade, and it's very soft to the touch, so like when I'm actually picking it up, it creates indents in the pan. I'm just going to show you. Like, you can already see the indents. That's because the formulas so far that I'm trying, everything's been really soft. So let's go in with this and see what that has to offer us. Okay, so this feels kind of like an extension of the first shade. Really, really beautiful though. I feel like it has a stronger pink shift going on there, so it's really, really gorgeous. I know that the USS Defined shade also kind of has like a green thing going on, because like when I look at it, I don't know if you can see the shifts here, but when you look at it, it actually goes into this kind of like greenish gold shade as well, and I can see it happening on my brush as well. Maybe you will be able to see that, I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna just apply that right here. You can see that, yeah, it's definitely a different shade, and it's, you can see like it's just transitioning beautifully from that first shade to the second. Oh my goodness, I feel like I have a sunset on my eyes. I really do. I think that as much as I feel like it kind of is almost there, but I think that I'm going to go in with Obsidian Order because I feel like that's a gorgeous shade. It looks red in the pan right now, and it also looks like a really gorgeous shade of pink from other angles. So I feel like I want to end with that. So I'm going to add some of that right here. And I'm going to take it out a bit as well. And I'm just going to leave it like that. I think that transition is enough. So a lot of similar tones here in the palette from what you can see, because this looks like a copper kind of color when I'm looking at it in the mirror, but I know that on the camera, when I'm looking at the camera, it actually looks more like reddish pink. So it's actually really nice that you have these different options, I think. Yeah, now when I'm putting it here on this side, it looks pink. I'm mind blown by this. I am disappointed that I have not tried Adept earlier. So I just finished doing Yensa primer, foundation, concealer. I'm going in with Woosh Beauty now, because something that I should probably mention is if you're using Yensa, it gives a very, very dewy, gluey finish, which I really do like. But I do want to also set my eyes, so I'm going in with my Woosh Beauty highlighter at the moment. This just kind of brightens up the entire face, really. Okay, so this is another blusher by Yensa. It's called Peach Sunset. I was gifted this prior to the other shade, and I'm just gonna be using this orange on my cheeks because I feel like it is so perfect, really, for this look. We're going for like a very, very pretty orange kind of thing, and I just love the way it feels. Cream blush is my new favorite kind of product. I just love the way it sinks into your skin and just feels so good. Sienna Luster by Odin's Eye is probably one of my favorite blusher products, and it's shimmery. So I've gone in already with the Yensa, and you can definitely see, you know, that it's brought some color to my cheeks, but I do want to shine. So I'm actually using Sienna Luster as a highlighter for this particular look. And I'm going in very gently. I've already kind of dipped the product, and you can see that there's a shine that's coming from the brush, and that's something I really like. Look at that, that's absolutely gorgeous. Hey everyone, this is the finished look, and basically I went in again with a lot of Yensa products, and you know, I used an Odin's Eye blusher and all that. If you were following the tutorial, you would have probably seen all of this, and the last detail really is my lipstick. I went in for Juvia's Place, and this is a caramel rose lipstick, and it's really, really nice, very comfortable on the skin, and it's understated, so it doesn't take away from the drama that I have on my eyes. And you can see that, you know, with this makeup, there are very, very strong shifts in the color. It's truly beautiful multi-chromes. You know, honestly, even doing this, I'm seeing green, I'm seeing gold, I'm seeing orange, pink. Oh my goodness, this is just stunning. I think this is probably my favorite look. I really love the way that this looks. I love how it just made my eyes look 10 times bigger than they normally are. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but the whole point is it looks so much bigger, and I'm just really happy with this. This is my favorite look out of all the looks that I have done, and we still have one more look to go. So we've played around with all the mattes. We only have 3 more of the multi-chrome shades to use, and that would be Far Point, this one over here, and then we have to use that one over there, and Trill, which is here. So I'm not really sure what exactly this look is going to turn out like, because a lot of these colors are very they look very white and pink and very light, again very pastel tones. So let's see how this goes. I mean, I'm interested to see how it's going to turn out, and I'm excited to share my final feedback on the palette with you. So we got one more look. I'll see you in that one. Hey everyone, welcome to the 4th tutorial. So the last 3 shades that we need to test in this palette are Tal, Shihar. I'm just gonna come in close so you can get a better look at these shades. You can see what this looks like. I think that this is a holographic shade because it's really, really sparkly and just absolutely gorgeous. And then the next one is Trill. You can see that Trill has kind of like a pink goldeny thing going on. And then last but not least, we have Far Point, which is this one over here. So Far Point kind of has gold and pink happening there. So these are the 3 shades all together. So you can see it's like blue toned, and then we go to pink and gold. I'm actually thinking that I'll put this shade over here in the middle, start with this one and end with that one. I was just reading up about the Samarian Sunset palette, and I saw that the shade Trill is actually not safe for eye use in the US, but it is safe for use in the EU. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that as a highlighter shade, because it is really pretty as a highlighter shade. So I'm going to just use that on my brow bone and on my cheeks, and you'll be able to see what that looks like. So that way I get to feature Tal Shiar a lot better, which is actually what I really want to do. I'm going in first with the shade Jalad again, because obviously there's only 5 shimmers here, and I just kind of want to set my P. Louise base. Let's go in with Tanagra. Not really sure how this look is gonna go, but I just want to get some mattes onto my lids. So it's come out a bit lighter this time, which I'm actually thankful for, because I think we're going for a more pastel-y kind of look. So using this fluffy brush is kind of dispersing it a bit more, and that's actually good. My eyes are feeling okay, not too bad actually. I've done 4 looks in one day. This is like, yeah, the 4th look that I've done today. And usually I struggle with this now, but I feel like somehow the formula of this was very friendly towards my sneezing and my chronic rhinitis, and I haven't had a problem. So I actually feel like I need shimmers with formulas like this. I was reading about the palette, and it said that there's a high amount of shea butter in this, and I was thinking that that must be really good. I mean, because it's working so well. But I'm also using other oils on my skin and stuff, because I always apply skincare before applying makeup, because I don't want my skin to become like excessively dry. So, you know, that's like a must. It's a very important thing. Okay, so we are now going to go in with the 2 shades. I'm still wondering if I should put Trill on my eyes. Like, I'm really not sure about this, but I really want Tal Shiar to be in the center, because I feel like that would be the most beautiful thing. So I think what I'll do is I'll start with Far Point. We're gonna go in with that shade because we have not tried it yet. Let me just grab some on my brush. So that's what it looks like. Oh, how did I? I forgot to put a base. Very big mistake. Never ever do that. Okay, yeah, let's go in with the mixing medium. So it even says on the Adept Cosmetics website that you should use a very good base when you're using these shades, because they tend to slide around more. So I'm actually very impressed by the Adept Cosmetics website, because they're so thorough in the way that they market this product. They literally tell you everything about it, and they even give you the affiliate codes, which I think is a very nice thing. So anyway, I'm going to add this into the inner corners of my eye. I think I should have waited for it to dry a bit. Okay, I'm going to give this a couple of seconds to dry, and I'll be right back. Alright, so you can see what this is looking like. It's a very nice shade. Like I said, I was expecting a very pastel kind of thing happening here. So now I'm going in with Tal Shiar, which was the shade that I was actually the most excited about. It's more blue. And we're going to add this onto my lids. So this is the Holochrome, and it is a multi-chrome as well. I think that it was good to end with that too, because I noticed that it had kind of like a very bluish kind of tone going on there, and I felt like if I had a green matte eyeshadow, it would work the best with that. It's really beautiful. Oh wow. This shade is stunning. It is so gorgeous. I wasn't expecting something so sparkly. I think just now, because the light wasn't hitting my eyes as much, I couldn't really see, but now I can see the amount of sparkles there. Now there is some fallout happening here, but it's not difficult to clean up. As I had mentioned before, I'm going to take the color Trill and I'm going to add it here where my brow bone is, and we're just going to highlight that. It's a really pretty pink though. You can see this is a rather fascinating look. I've got all the shades there. I've got like this orangey peach thing, I've got blue and silver, and then over here I've got a gorgeous pink going to an orange, and I do believe now that these shades are multi-use. You can definitely use some of these as highlighters because this is gorgeous. It really is. Okay, so the look's almost done. I'm just adding my Marilia Scott highlighter in the shade Peaches and Popcorn onto my face. Hey everyone, this is the finished look. So for my lips, I went in with the Wet Cherry Gloss by Lime Crime. This is a it's called Disco Cherry. It has a pink base, it seems, because this kind of does look more pink, and even when you apply it to your lips you can see that it's very sparkly. I felt it would match really well with the pastel tones that were, you know, obviously on my eyes. We finished all the shades in the palette, so I'm really happy about that. So as a recap, we basically went in with this, and then we went in with Far Point, which is that over there, and we also went in with Trill, which is this over here. So you can see it's showing up as pink for you, but when I look at it, I'm seeing all different colors. So, you know, basically I went in with the same products, a lot of Yensa Beauty. To set my face, I always use my Woosh Beauty palette, and I would highly recommend getting a Woosh Beauty palette because it's just so freaking convenient. There's contouring, there's highlighting, there's blenders in there. I just love this palette. I use it in every single one of my looks without fail. For my highlighter, as stated, it was the Marilia Scott highlighter palette, and I went in with the shade Peaches and Popcorn, which is a orange kind of shade. I felt like this looked like a creamsicle kind of shade, but a very pastel one, but it's still really gorgeous and really beautiful. So I have been wearing this for a few hours. There's been no creasing, nothing. So you know, talking about the formula of this palette, if you actually read the website, it is so concise. They explain everything to you, and they tell you that you do have to use a base, so it has a shea butter formula, you know, and that's why it's so creamy. And I could definitely feel that. I felt like these are definitely more creamy than other shades that I may have used before, and I could feel like it's kind of like a wet formula, you know, like you want that wet look, so you can kind of get that when you're using your fingers. Obviously I used my brushes for these because I don't always like using my fingers. They do state on the website that they show up very well if you're using just your fingers to get these shades, and I believe them because when I was putting my fingers in here, I could see the way that the colors were showing up on my fingers. It was really good. So the formula of the Multichromes and the Holochrome, very nice. You probably saw close-ups of my eye with the Holochrome. I really like this shade. I feel it's very pretty. It goes from like a silver to like a light blue kind of thing, and when you go really close, you can see all kinds of other colors. It's a very fascinating shade, but I really like it. I don't have one like this in my collection, so for me that's a big win. I like this one also. I don't have anything like that, and you know, I went with the other shade, which was Trill. I put it right on the top as my highlighter, and it's really beautiful. So what this tells me is that if you don't want to use the pastel shades, you know, as eyeshadows or eyeshadow toppers or whatever, you could actually use these as highlighters. And you know, I feel like it would go so well. Trill, for example, when I'm moving from side to side, I kind of see a gold, like I kind of feel like the color blends in with my brown skin, and to me that's important because I don't want to cast on my face. You know, when you do highlighting and stuff, there's usually a cast, and it kind of stands out. Like there are some shades that will show up as kind of grayish, like when you wear a highlighter, but you know, I don't really like that. So for me, I think Trill would look really nice as a highlighter, and I'm just adding some on top of. So you could use Trill as a highlighter. It has a slight cast, as you can probably see. I just went in and put some there. But I don't think it's so bad, like, because obviously this is a multi-chrome shade, right? So I would just blend it out, honestly. Because this was, I'm just showing you what it looks like. So this is what Trill looks like if you're going to wear it as a highlighter. I don't feel like the cast is significant enough for me to be like, oh, I don't like it. I feel like if you blend it out, it would actually go really well. And I think that that's great. It's a multi-use palette. The matte formulas are good. I've definitely used matte formulas that are maybe more creamy and more pigmented, I think, but these are not bad. Like, I don't consider these bad. I actually really like the palette, and I think that if you're starting out from multi-chromes, or even if you're not even starting out, if you just like all these beautiful fall colors, which I really love because this is my favorite season, I think that this palette would be perfect for you to actually start, you know, your fall like with, because I feel like you don't have to do looks like this. Now the one thing I like about multi-chromes is just the fact that you can put in less effort. You don't have to use like 5, 6, 7 shades to get beautiful shifts on your eyes. If you want to use this as an everyday palette, I think it's definitely doable. I think, you know, the fact that they've given you these 5 mattes, you could just go in with like 1 matte and 1 of this, and it's going to look like you're wearing several shades on your eyes. So that's the thing for me that I love about multi-chromes, and I think that this would be really, really fun for fall. And I was very keen to try this out because the color story, when I saw it online, I was like, that palette looks so beautiful. I've never tried Adept, and I really want to try it and see where this goes. Something else that I like about the company is when I was looking at the palette, I actually came across a list of affiliate codes. Like, I've never seen any other company do this, so I feel like it's really nice that they support the makeup community by putting all their codes like literally on the product page. So if you are trying to get a discount, you don't have to go searching high and low. It's all there. You can use whichever ones you want. You can support whichever creators you want, and I really like that. I thought that was pretty awesome by Adept. Very, very nice. So yeah, the Samarian Sunset palette has a creamier than usual formula. It has shea butter in it. They tell you that you should use a primer. I always use a primer, so I did not have any problems with this. They say that the formula moves around. I have not experienced this. I feel like it does, you know, kind of, it blends into each other, like, you know, over time, which is only normal. All eyeshadows do that, but I didn't feel like it was so creamy that it's going to melt off my face. So it worked very, very well with the NYX mixing medium. I would rather use my NYX mixing medium than the NYX glitter glue for this. I just feel like this makes it a lot better for me, because when I use this and I apply it properly to all the places where I'm putting my you know, shimmers or whatever, it just stays there. It stays there and it doesn't budge. So if you have oily eyelids or you're looking for a really cheap, affordable primer, I would highly recommend this, especially for this particular palette, where they have literally said in the description that you need a primer for it. Because probably, you know, people who don't know how to use this, if you don't use a primer and the shades just get all muddled up, it's because you're not using a primer, obviously. So make sure that you get a really, really good primer and use it with your shades, and you're not going to have problems. Now, I obviously use multiple bases. Like, I use my P. Louise, then I go over my P. Louise, so you can see how much I'm doing just to make the shades work on my eyes. But I hope that this review has actually given you an idea of what you're going to get with the palette. So I've used several eyeliners in this look, and I just want to mention them before I end the video. So over here, this is Mama Wana. It is by Maven Beauty. I bought this eyeliner, you know, pack from them a long time ago, and I've been using all the eyeliners. I love it. I've finally learned how to make it work for me, because initially when you start using this, it may not work like the way that you expect it to work, but now I've managed to make it work for me, and I love that. I would definitely repurchase it. And I think that the rest of the makeup details, like over here, the liner over there is a silver liner, and then I went over it with a Shein Chromazone liner. I just used silver, and then I went over something, so it's kind of like a bluish green, and that's how I achieved, you know, that look over there. But I also had the eyeshadow going, you know, underneath my eye and everything, and I felt that was perfect. So my thoughts on this palette is that I love it. I absolutely love this palette. I feel this is probably the most beautiful fall palette that I have ever seen in my life. It is just stunning. It makes you so happy to dig into these shades and use them. I absolutely love it. I really do. And I think that if you are someone who doesn't want to spend a lot on multi-chromes, this is a great investment, because there's a duochrome. I'm not sure which one is the duochrome in this palette, so I'll probably update that. But most of them are multi-chromes, and of course there's one holochrome. And I just feel like this is gorgeous. This is just fantastic if you want to start out with multi-chromes and you just haven't been able to. Just make sure that you have the primer, because it does require a primer. Give your primer some time to dry before you apply the shade. It should be a little bit tacky. Like, that's usually what I do. I just wait for it to become a little bit sticky, and then I go bam, and I, you know, put my eyeshadow on, and that's how it stays on. But I love this palette, and I highly recommend it. And when I say this, I really, really mean it. It is a beautiful palette. I was 100% satisfied with this palette, and I did not expect to actually like this palette as much as I did, because like I said, it's the first time that I'm trying Adept. But everything from the packaging, like when they sent me the palette, right up to using the palette and everything, Oh my goodness, I feel like it's just been a different kind of experience for me. I'm very, very impressed because even the packaging, the way that they put the palette in there, the amount of wrapping that they have to protect the shades and make sure that it's going to arrive as it arrives, they really, really show that they care about getting this product to you in a very safe way. So I really like that and I appreciate that. One more thing about the palette that you should know is that it is magnetic. So if you are someone who wants to build your own palette, you want to rearrange the shades to make it easier for you to come up with, you know, looks or whatever, you can do it. And if you have other Adept or other, you know, magnetic palettes that are the same size, then you can probably come up with your own custom palettes. And I really like that because I think that I'm probably going to be getting another Adept palette very soon. Like, I am looking forward to the inspired one. So yes, I've had you here for quite some time. I've done a pretty thorough review. I hope that you're happy with the review and that you know what this palette is like. And honestly, for me, I love it as a fall palette. I think it works beautifully. You get different tones, different moods and feelings, like, you know, pastel. You get the pastels, you get the deeper tones, you can mix them up. And then when you're moving around, you're getting all kinds of other stuff. So for me, this is a win. I absolutely love it. I'm so happy that I tried this palette out, and I'm so happy that I got to share this review with all of you. If you want to purchase the palette, remember that there is a section where you can click and get all the affiliate codes so that you can get that discount. I personally love this color story. Fall is my favorite season, as I've said before, and for me this was a huge win. I'm 100% satisfied. So yes, thank you for joining me. I will see you soon for another review. I'm sending lots of love to you. Bye.